Okay, greetings back to the scene of the crime. Yeah, I'm feeling some of the what is it? Turn on the camera, all of a sudden the bugs swarm in. I figure I'd take another chance with this. If it was already, I might have to go to another location. This is the same location. Yeah, now I'm there. I guess they found me. See how long? Yeah, man, I'm getting bombarded again. You gotta be kidding me. See how long I can last. Not very long. Yeah, you can see they ran through, they drove through the beach. Yeah, I'm getting bugged again. I don't think there's anywhere you can go. We just have to make the best of it. Well, I'm not the only one. I just don't have any bug repellent that I'm aware of. So yeah, to go back to the society breaking down, it's with the French Parliament fell apart. Yeah, who knows? It's really hard to say that. It has to. Whenever all else fails, there'll be a reset. Financial reset, some kind of course, people have been talking about this forever. We are seeing some breakdowns, and something has to happen. Feels like we're heading into. Yeah, I can feel the love bugs or whatever they are, ticks. It's not so bad as it was last time. Going in a different direction too. Oh well, I guess you get used to it. It's like a dog. This is what the horses go through. This. Shit, man. Anyway, I'm gonna go jump out in the ocean. That helps a little bit. Where are we heading? So the reset energy. Yeah, anything can happen. Things are breaking down. I mean, they're not what they used to be. It's not a whole lot that's really being redone. New. Everything's being recycled. It's like what Toy Story 5 is coming out. And we're just, we're kind of circling around nowhereville. We're just, waiting for a change. This feels like we're going some kind of reset frequency. Something's going to come in. It has to. And it's going to come when we're not, governments can shut down. It's really hard to say. It's too early to tell until it starts to happen. So, there's a cop coming out here. I don't see that very often. He's gonna help with the bug situation. So that goes. I don't see cars out here very often. I'm not gonna turn around. Yeah. Anyway, the cop just showed up. Huh. Yeah, there was that. So, everything can. I mean, the U.S. Anything when things start to break down. Could be, like I say, a trigger. And then several other events will occur, of course. So it's hard, we're not, this month might be the breaking point of like the beginning of certain event. It's really hard to say, but it can be. Feels like something needs to happen. We need some kind of like the champagne bottle needs to break for some kind of transformation, and that's when people get tested. That's why the love and light community are really going to start looking at their reality is going to hit. So right now, I guess they have time to not know themselves or healing oneself. There's somewhere. I mean, I feel like there's just those that are having a lot of difficulties healing themselves. Just, it's impossible. They just ignore it. They don't want to see it. They're trying to, but it's still too difficult to truly just to mesh out all the nonsense, internal, manipulations that's been going on. Because that's why all these manipulative, spiritual teachers are, successful, is because, so many are not quite aligned with themselves. Happening with religions. I've talked about this a million times over and over again. Just clear out the delusions, not let SSP stuff really bother you, and just it's good to clear that out because you're connecting more with yourself. You're clearing out all the noise and going more, it's not easy, but it can be done. It just spiritual entertainment doesn't work anymore. You'd be surprised how it's pretty obvious they cannot do it. It just can't do it. It's just too easy for the mind to just wander off because it can't handle this reality, so the mind wanders off to some kind of, junction. Of course, even like with the biblical, even now, like the Bible, it's like that's what, 2,000 years old, at least the new one, the New Testament. The Bible's older than that, 5,000 years or whatever it is. It's like, that's old. Why are people why is that relevant? Obviously call it religion, but what about modern? They're trying to do it modernly, but they're still holding on to old belief systems. And you got to do what you got to do, but it's really kind of cut out the old belief systems, so that's how you bring in the new earth, the new frequencies, and the new everything. They're holding on to this old crap, and then many don't want to listen to it. Anyway. And seeing the future and all that, channeling, you can channel all day long about galactic beings and, stuff that doesn't really matter. And it's like in the long run, it's like, well, if you want to try to see the future, and all you can do is just handle it when it happens, when events occur, or handle when people don't want to stay shut down or fighting, constantly on the attack because they don't want to really grow. I'm doing that at work too, just, say a coworker, it just doesn't have all these opportunities to do something new, explore your talents, and it's no. It's like, here, you have everything in front of you. I can help out with it, like a podcast. It's not a spiritual podcast, it's like a sports podcast for work. I have a guru that knows all that stuff. That's good. That's cool. And it's like, okay, you're older now. You can't do sports. Well, I guess you can. When you're doing it as a hobby. But when you share your knowledge, and it just says no to all that. You can go on YouTube and do all that. Had everything all set up, everything. And he said no. It's like, the hell am I doing here? It's just an example of that. I'm not too big on sports, but hey, I'm there to support it and understand it, and I'm supposed to see that world. But when you're constantly blocking yourself, because even a friend at work could have been a professional athlete and turned that down too. Turn that down, and then turn another opportunity down. Okay, turn that down and have all this sports knowledge. I can share it, and I imagine it will blow up as a good thing. Get some attention. Because much as sports, that's quite all right. That's cool. But no, just a big fat no. So it's like, what do you do with that? And living with regret, giving other people advice, and not taking your own advice, like internally crumbling. It's like, what do you got? You're not taking any risks. You're not trying anything. You want instant satisfaction. Like if you do a podcast, you have to let it grow. Like anything. You can't just expect instant cash flow, but you just do it because it's part of your essence. You just do it because you have to do it. Where it goes is who knows. It's just good to do something, and it does. I don't do anything, stay stagnant. So I just use that as an example. It's a good example. It's like, I'm showing just pieces of it, but it's like. And that's also with relationship energies too. Like for personal relationships, like, are you ready to take the dive, or you want to play it safe and go live the bland life, and just, like I said, jumping into the water, you're just gonna be in the shallow end and tell yourself how happy you are and all that. When you tap into it, it's like, okay. It's like you're happy about being a bland piece of paper. Bland, just I guess, you know, with that, you just constantly try to get your mind off of that, not to think of it like that. But really, it's just like, could have went for the gold instead of went for the, I don't know, 3rd, 4th place, 9th place, whatever the hell that is, at least internally. So it's, yeah, and what does Mother Earth do with stuff? Yeah, what does Mother Earth do with that? So it's like, because, you know, isn't that soul growth? So, you know, everyone's on their own track. Not everybody's here to open up a business, or, you know, not everybody's here for that. But it's like a tree that doesn't want to grow. Like the soul, you're here to grow. Even if you like try things and fail constantly. That's what I did in the past. Everything I did was just constant failure. It was a pain in the ass. It's like, we got to do something. We're going to sit around and mope around. You got to keep trying. And that's what got me where I am today. Of course, even here, like with YouTube, blocked again, right? I mean, it's like at least I'm on there, but it's like I'm still getting fucking, spiritually shadow banned and whatever. Well, because it's not adventure. It's not it's not SSP, delusional nonsense and all that. It's not like, because spirituality currently is kind of like modern mythology, the Bible stuff and just all the fantastic and all. Like, what is this shit? It's like, here's a baby bottle. Here, what, adult kids, adult children, is that what this is? So nobody wants to grow up? I mean, I realize some are at that level, and I understand that. But come on. It's like, then you, I mean, whatever. It's just, whatever. Because, yeah, like I said, all of it's very, you clear out all the clutter. And obviously this world is mostly chaos. It's addicted to it. So, but if you clear out all the clutter, if you're around those that don't want to clutter, just clear out all the noise. That's how you evolve, because you're not letting the noise block you. You're just letting yourself move forward. Of course, like I say, trying to see the future, good luck with that. You can try. Well, you can feel something's going to happen, but that's about it. But, those timelines swift around everything. But, those that like go to the dark side, they tell everybody how light they are and how negative everyone else is. But they're doing some shady stuff on the side. Trying to, once again, the, feeling of, guilt, energy. But of course, you like kind of talk yourself out of you're not doing something wrong when you actually are. And they wonder why they're kind of stuck here. And that's the other thing. You're seeing it now. Those that say no constantly, like they can evolve and then say no. And you wonder why people come back. It's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But, it doesn't mean you have to necessarily come back here. But, sometimes you go back to the scene. I've talked about it. I think I've talked about everything over and over. But you go back to the scene of the crime. It's like, okay, I have to put in my energy field to beat this world, you can say, or to beat yourself, whatever. Just to overcome your faults. And that's why you come back here, to keep trying to, just like a game, you're trying to win the game, right? But you're doing it for yourself. And just, because you get energy points, you can say, you can evolve, take it more seriously in the higher astral. And if not, if you're not interested in that, you just get pushed back into the collective and just being controlled and all of that, and just keep telling yourself everything's great when everything kind of sucks. Everything sucks anyway, but at least you're evolved. Because you feel all the pushback from everybody. But at least you're not, like I say, drinking the Kool-Aid is one way of looking at it. Just because when you break out of the matrix, everything goes against you. You're just truly outside the system. It's painful. It's like you deactivate the chip, the third dimensional NPC chip, and now you're outside the system and just have to You know, you might not have all the stuff other people have, a great job, you know, go places, you know, have this, you know, postcard life. I know I don't have any of that. I guess this is as close as you can get from it. Yeah, only the one way. Well, you know, some people, well, to be honest, I mean, I come out here just for this. You know, a lot of people are not supposed to, you know, they gotta work on themselves, so they'd be at the beach all the time doing nothing with themselves. So I have to go and, you know, yeah, this is like a candy, you can say, when they can come here. So either way, but yeah, the reset energy, it can happen anytime, of course, like anything else. Yeah, and then it's just like 2020. It's just one domino after the other. So it's possible. Right now it feels, well, I don't know, because things aren't exactly going so great right now. Worldwide, not really. Economy's not so great. Things are kind of standing still. It's like, you know, creativity is not really evolving. And there's a lot of pushback in society, you know. So yeah, is alien disclosure actually going to happen? Ships are going to land? Oh yeah, that's right. It reminds me of the video I posted yesterday of the alien phoning home. That was initially supposed to be a gag, and that was all it was supposed to be. But then it turned into a message video about those that want positive messages, and they're not really, you know, you can't make anybody happy here. Aliens show up, people are so bitching about everything. You know, even those that are in the love and light community, this isn't the way I thought it was going to happen, and start bitching about everything. It's like, oh, fuck, man. Welcome to Earth, right? What are we doing? I don't know. It's like the planet of the impossible. So, I mean, yeah, if you can get things working out for you, it's one thing, but, you know, there's so much pushback here. So much fears and all that. I mean, like with the fears, you just have to, let it go and just cross the threshold, of course, Christmas or not. Yeah, because you don't let go of the fear and just, I don't know, it's just, sometimes like talking to other people they don't really want to talk to, their energies are not exactly the best. I don't call it fear, just they don't feel like dealing with their frequency, their programming. I wouldn't call it fear, just don't feel like dealing with that energy field. It's like, you want to deal with their mind control? Not really. Not particularly. So, you know, that's why, you know, anyway. It has the same thing to do with spiritual communities. A lot of that's just, do you believe this? You believe that? You believe, what the fuck? Are you better than Max Spears? I give up. Yeah, you're better than Max Spears, yeah. Yeah. Hope that made you feel better. What is that shit? Think about scratching the ego. Are you better than Jesus? Yeah, there you go. Or, yeah, that's what I was thinking about that. It's like, well, shit. I mean, like, what do people want? They want you to, like, be Jesus? So is that what we need to do? We all like become a version of Jesus? We can heal everybody? Is that what we're here for? Yeah, wear a cape. Give yourself like a, Ivan Jesus or something, or whatever the hell it is. Is that what people want? What is this place, man? What is this place? What is this? So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, if you start a spiritual channel, just hope that we can heal everyone. I imagine that will go some, what the fuck, man? Psychic surgeon and all that. And it's like, you know, that's great and everything. I don't know, just more, I mean, I can see the good side of that, but I don't know. It's also just more digging, just a lot of digging for a reason to be part of the spiritual community, I guess. So anyway, connect to I guess the Arcturians. Yeah, just something. Yeah, whatever that needs to be there, and we'll call it a day. Not so bad with the bugs. right, blessings. Greens, we have the Arcturians. Yes, some are dealing, yes, with a lot of self-love issues, and that's why they plug themselves. And there's like, yes, you can unplug from the system, but many would just, they don't feel like they can handle the stress of being unplugged from the system. So they allow manipulations and allow themselves to continue to be confused and so on. So they're having trouble healing themselves on many levels. So it's, fear of letting go. As well as they also look at who's part of the system and give themselves every reason to not unplug from it. So what does it do when you hold on to that? Well, your longevity can be cut short. Illnesses can occur. There's repercussions to it. It's just like and you might try to give advice to others or trying to do anything other than grow yourself. Like you help others do something or show love to someone, but you might feel empty afterwards. You might be in a relationship and that feels good, at least for that person, and you might get bored of it and all that, and you're not really growing internally and so on. So there's a lot of energy there. Yes, we were cut off for a second. Not sure if you even received that message, but those that do not want to grow, they want to stay plugged into the matrix. They try to do everything they can around them to help others, but they can't help themselves. It's like, you can say energetically they dig themselves a hole because they get to the level where they can release this reality or an upgrade. And they chose to, hold back, stay back instead. So yes, you can move up a grade, you can say, is another way of looking at it. And they choose not to, and then they get bored. Look at all of I think it just in school in general. You get bored and you start to maybe make really some bad decisions and just continue to go in the wrong direction. So there's a lot of, energetically, you kind of starve yourself for purpose. And you're constantly looking for entertainment, or you get in a relationship, or you find another relationship, and if they find a current relationship, they find love there, but it's fun for a while, but then it gets kind of boring, and they kind of try to go places and do things and make it, add some sugar to it, but there's really nothing there, and they constantly need to move around and do things because it's kind of dead. So, and because they can upgrade, but they don't, so they constantly go backwards. So yes, it can cause a lot of depression energies and just cause a lot of mental issues. When they get older, that's when the regret really comes in. Because they look at their lives like, what am I doing with myself? And just say there's not a whole lot there. So, and it's energetically, it's internal. So, we'll just leave it at that. I feel like there's some blockages going on. All right, blessings.